which is away. Good! Atlanta wins. And it is gone! Oh my God, he's done it again! Kansas City, third time today!
We needed to win this game.
And the Jets are going to survive.
Hi, everybody, and welcome in to another edition of NFL Primetime. So glad you are here with us. Trey Wingo alongside Merrill Hodge and Trent Dilfer as we get set to wrap up Week 3 tonight with the 180th meeting on Monday Night Football between the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears. It is the oldest rivalry in all of the NFL. It's going to be a great win, and of course, quarterbacks getting a lot of the play here, but there are defenses that are going to try and stop those quarterbacks.
Wrongfully so,
as there. We'll get into that.
Wrongfully so.
Calm yourself. For the very latest on those defenses, and let's start with Chicago, let us say hello to Susie Colbert.
Hello, Trey. And the Bears' defense is back because Brian Urlacher is back. No doubt he is the heart and soul. And if you watch practice or a game, he goes through a whole dissertation before the ball is snapped, guiding his guys on where to go. As Lovie Smith says, it's like having Big Brother out there with you again. And consider, he's had 6 Pro Bowl seasons. He was Defensive Player of the Year in 05. But when I asked him to compare this start to others, he said not even close. Because of his time away, he really appreciates the game more. He's studied more. His body is fresh. Trey, he said he believes he's off to his best start ever.
Now, Susie, it certainly looks like it. He's flying around the ball, and we'll get back to you in a minute for a look at the Packers. But, Trent, let's talk about that Chicago offense. By all outward indications, it certainly seems like the marriage between new offensive coordinator Mike Martz and Jay Cutler is working. Is that what you see?
I don't. You think it would be based on the numbers, and you see these unbelievable explosive plays, and they're lighting up the scoreboard and putting up big numbers. But the history of Jay Cutler and the history of Mike Martz is one and the same. Great in between the 20s, struggle when you get down inside and struggle critical downs. This offense is completely based on the big play. Everything they do, look at 1st and 20, spread you out, make you a little thin out there, throw a screen pass. Pretty well executed, but a lot of bad tackling and bad lane assignments by the Detroit Lions. 89-yard touchdown, huge in the stat box. 2nd and 18. Notice early downs, long yard situations. You find a matchup with man-to-man. You get Matt Forte matched up on a linebacker. Jay Cutler staring the thing down the whole time. There's no reading the defense. Just find your matchup, chuck it down the field. Big play, touchdown. Against the Cowboys, you got a casino blitz. The Cowboys break assignments. Everybody's running vertical. That's the theme in Mike Martz's offense. Vertical, hot throw, Greg Olsen, long touchdown. Now, I get it. It's impressive. I love watching the big play on 1st and 2nd down. But at the end of the day in the National Football League, it's about critical downs, red zone and 3rd down. They're 28% in both categories. I think this is smoke and mirrors. If you keep everything in front of you, you can stop this Bears offense.
Well, they're hater.
They look pretty good.
Hater, realistic.
They look pretty good with that touchdown to Devin Hester in the corner of the end zone in the red zone against the Cowboys.
That's their one.
A route combination action.
That is their one.
They're building.
As for the defense that's going to try and stop that mirage that Trent Dilfer says the offense is of the Chicago Bears, that would be the Green Bay Packers. And for another team report on the Packers team, let's go back to Susie Colbert.
Well, this is equal time for linebacker Clay Matthews. You think he played well last year? He leads the NFL with 6 sacks, 3 in each of the first 2 games. No player has ever done that. What makes it even more impressive is that 3 days before training camp, they moved him from the right side to the left, and then he got hurt, so he barely had time to practice his new position. But the benefit has been that because they can move him all over now, makes it very hard to double team him. And Trey, you know that Matthews has always played with that chip on his shoulder because he had to walk on at USC. And he said, not to sound conceited, but he doesn't believe anyone approaches the game the way he does.
Well, Susie, that's certainly been the case of the first 2 games, back-to-back 3-sack performances. But, Merrill, when you look at this Packers defense, Clay Matthews clearly stands out, but he's not the only one that's getting it done.
No, Dom Capers, he was part of that mastermind that helped with the zone blitz concept, and he's always constantly advancing his defense. What's interesting tonight, and I wanted you to watch for, you remember the old Bear defense, the 46, the defense that dominated? Well, this Packer defense will actually play that 46 defense. I want to show you what it is so you can watch for it tonight because it may be resurrected in Chicago. The last stack linebacker, you get two linebackers over the tight end. The other linebacker will slide over, and the other safety comes down to the box. You cover both guards and the center and both tackles. The reason I think you're going to see this is because everybody now on the line of scrimmage is challenging somebody. The offensive line is getting challenged. You got people attacking in the backfield. You got guys like Matthews that are free and unblocked. You have to account for them. They don't use it a lot, but I think you'll see it a little more tonight because of the Bears' struggles with their offensive line. This is a great defense to challenge everybody on the offensive line. And you got players that you can attack there. If you put everybody and you line up on everybody, then everybody has to count for somebody, and you don't get to help one another. So that's a good way to get after the passing game and Jay Cutler.
By the way, the date today is September 27th. You know what happened on September 27th, 1992?
You're going to tell us?
Brett Favre's first ever start. Since that time, the Packers have had the fewest starting quarterbacks in the NFL. 2. Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. The Chicago Bears have had the most at 22.
Whoa.
Play tonight. When we continue, Brett Favre now with the Vikings and finally a season-saving win. Meanwhile, Michael Vick makes Andy Reid look better and better every time he lines up under center. And it may have been the best game on Sunday, but did it tell us more about the team that won or the team that lost in the Superdome? Primetime's got that too.
NFL Primetime is brought to you by Subway Restaurants. Eat bold with Subway fiery foot-long subs. Subway, eat fresh. And
what are you doing? Like, what do you mean?
What's going on, guys?
Josh, what's up, man?
Excuse me. What's up with him?
A couple of those home run derby balls you hit?
Yeah.
They were his cousins. Yeah.
College football lives here on ESPN America. Every Saturday, Chris Fowler and the gang get you ready for the matchups on ESPN's all-new 3-hour college game day. Then, catch live games from campuses across the U.S. Want even more college football action? We've got it all. Tons of bowl games, including every game in the Bowl Championship Series and the BCS National Championship game. Plus, weekdays, stay on top of the action with College Football Live. The biggest names, the biggest games every Saturday. College football lives here all season long, live on ESPN America.
Looking end zone, Gayco, keep it. Running to the fire. Throwing one deep over the middle. Is caught. Touchdown. Great pass.
Now that's how you come up and smack a man. Oh! Drop. I mean, drop. Oh!
He is hit, taken down. Big time hit.
Oh, what a neat cleaner.
It was lights out. He was walloped. I don't know how he held on. Wow, what a hit.
Oh, what a devastating shot. Welcome to the NFL, young man.
you are watching NFL Primetime.
Welcome back to Primetime. Trey Wingo here with Merrill Hodge and Trent Dilfer. Okay, New Orleans Saints, Super Bowl champs. Tough couple of games to start. Vikings in a rematch of the NFC title game had to go to San Francisco. But on Sunday, they began defense of their NFC South title in earnest against the team many thought would be their stiffest challenge. That would be the Atlanta Falcons. There is no Reggie Bush anymore, but there is Lance Moore filling in for the injured Reggie Bush and playing the part of Reggie Bush successfully. That's a good return all the way down to the 6-yard line, 72-yard return for Lance Moore. And you know what's amazing? That wasn't even the best and biggest play Lance Moore had on the day. This may be the easiest 80-yard touchdown anyone will score all year. Hello, I'm number 16. You might want to put somebody on me. And just like that, the Saints lead 14-7. Axis, how did this happen?
I love this fancy tool, ESPN Access. As we take a look at it, Lance Moore lined up in the slot, safety over the top of him, and another deep safety. Now, on this 3 vertical play, the strong side, either this safety here on Lance Moore has to carry the seam instead of dropping, or the deep hole safety has to cheat to the 3-man side. Neither happens. Drew Brees sniffs it out, throws a strike, easy touchdown.
Gobble, gobble, gobble. That was Drew Brees good. This is Drew Brees unusually bad. Just chucks it up underarm, and Thomas Deku is there for the pick, his second of the day. Next Falcons possession, it's 4th and 2. They got a big, strong offensive line, so of course they're throwing it to Roddy White for the first down. The drive continues. Later again, I think it's still 4th and 2, and of course they're gonna throw it to tight end Tony Gonzalez inside the 5. The drive stays alive, and Merrill, they went to their factor back to pay it off.
They get a steal here and a steal there and a bulldozer right there.
Michael Turner, that was a 19-play, 72-yard drive that took over 10.5 minutes off the clock to tie it up. 4th quarter, Falcons down. Roddy White, yes! 22-yard score. The Falcons go up 24-21. All right, under 3 left in the 4th. Saints down 3 at their own 45. Drew Brees to Marcus Colston picks up a first down. Later in the drive, yes, no Reggie Bush, but Pierre Thomas is still there, and he's also pretty good. That screen game again working under the middle. So now things are good. They're in field goal position. It's Garrett Hartley, 9 seconds left, and wow, this one's good, but Trent, wasn't that hooking a little as it was headed?
Yeah, you should make those right down the middle.
We call that foreshadowing. 24 in overtime we go. In overtime, Saints with a 3rd and 9. It's Devery Henderson. Oh my gosh, they're at the 10-yard line. This is, let's go. Let's get Hartley out there. We feel good about it. It's a 29-yard field goal. Ugh. How does that happen? No good. The Saints are like, yeah, no, we did not win. The Falcons get the ball back. Later in overtime, Jason Snelling, get out of my way. 12 yards. The Falcons creeping closer. So now 2 minutes left. They're going for a 41-yarder. Here's Matt Bryant, and blocked. But wait a minute. Timeout. There it is. Sean Payton right before the snap. And in all honesty, they might not have blocked it if the timeout hadn't been called. They relaxed. But then the Falcons are called for a false start. So now this is the 3rd time they've got to go through this. And remember, this is Matt Bryant, who, when he was in Tampa, kicked one over 60 yards for a game winner. 46? Please, I got that. And the Falcons shocked the Saints. The final 27-24. The Fidelity turning point in this game. Look, it's easy to look at the overtime kick, but Merrill, there was no answer that the Saints had for that rushing game of the Atlanta Falcons, over 200 yards and 50 attempts.
You know, Mike Moreeeee is the offensive coordinator there, and he is a true believer that you establish offense with your running game, and that the running game will pay off dividends for you, not just in the ability to throw the football, but late in the game. And that's ultimately what happened to the Saints, is late in the game, that relentless pounding was just too much. I mean, some of the things that happened in the trenches were unbelievable. Look at this double team. Now, you at least got to stand and hold up to that double team. That's 4 yards in the backfield. And then you get a kick-out block. You get your guard coming around. He digs out the linebacker. And then you got Turner finishing, giving them back-to-back slaps all over the place. I will tell you this, the movement up front was just awesome. Look at them digging out people. They get up and under their pads. They move people out of there. They don't just block them. They move them. When you move people like that, then you give your runner options. When that runner has options, and the runners for the Atlanta Falcons, when they have options, they will make you pay. They will punish you, they will get yards, and they will do what we like to say, keep you on schedule. Being 2nd and 2, 2nd and 3, not 2nd and 10. That makes it so much easier on your coordinator and your quarterback.
Yeah, and I completely agree. And that was impressive stuff. Atlanta Falcons,
the last 2 weeks they've been doing
very impressive. Clean on offense, efficient in the passing game, big plays, gave the Saints their best shot. And if the Saints make a 29-yard field goal, it's all for naught. And I think that's the theme of this game, is now the landscape has changed in the NFC South because of this missed field goal, but it's a 29-yarder, a kick you should make 1,000 out of 1,000 times. And the Falcons come in there, give them their best shot. We just showed how impressive it is. And the Saints still are in a position where every person on that bench, every coach, and every fan said, oh, this game's over. We won in overtime. because a guy doesn't do his job, make a kick he should make, now the landscape's changed in the NFC. Now, if I'm the Saints, I'm coming back, and I'm taking that perspective, and I'm saying we're better than that team.
Really?
I am.
It's interesting how all this came around back to the kicker.
It is. That's a
There's
fair
some anger
point.
issues over here.
That's a fair point, but at some point you've got to look. You've got to look yourself, Trent.
Goalpost.
Trent, at some point you got to look yourselves in the mirror and say we got bull rushed the entire game. And the other thing we didn't get in this game that we've gotten the last couple of games, especially Monday night, those turnovers that we've talked about the last couple of weeks. They thought they had one with Jason Snelling, but it was overturned. That defense has got to get those things correct.
You can't live on thinking you're going to get turnovers.
Right, exactly.
To your point, to Trent's point that that you think that it's a 29-yard field goal. The deep-rooted issue though on defense, they're getting mauled.
Great.
And not just mauled by Atlanta, they got mauled by San Francisco. I know you got out with San Francisco, but at the end of the day, you're going to have to rectify that if you're going to end up winning or repeating a Super Bowl win.
I agree, but they still would have won.
You can blame the kicker all day long. I'm in agreement with that, but you got some other issues you better take care of.
Yeah, I don't think this is a very kicker-friendly side of the set, but you can't.
Not going to get a lot of votes.
200 yards rushing on 50 attempts. Saints now home for Carolina, and the Falcons home for San Francisco. Well, without Braylon Edwards, it was Dustin Keller's turn to shine on Sunday night, and Mark Sanchez made sure he was shining bright. It was closer than most of the previous 13, but once again, the Bills came up short when they were playing New England. Primetime has that and much more. Stay with us.
Turning Point is brought to you by Fidelity Investments. Journey.
Hey, Floyd.
Hey, Brian.
How's it going?
Fine, thanks.
Anything you want to talk about?
Nah, I'm good.
You're sure?
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
See you later, Brian.
Sports Center, weekdays at 0700 CET on ESPN America.
Come on, man, we're such a staple of our show on Monday night. And it's proven that you don't have to be even in the NFL.
So let's start.
In the head with the helmet. This guy got it all wrong. Come on, man. Watch the Golden Gopher here. He's rambling. Stiff arm. Come on, man.
Something's wrong with Zebra Sanders. I can't believe this is between my legs. Come on, man.
Check out this brother run. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Watch this. You got a no contact contract. Come on, man. This show gets so popular, the strippers are starting to come.
Right there, Duty and Phil.
Come on, man.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Seasonal greatness means an all-pro nod. Sustained greatness means the Hall of Fame. With a few more stellar seasons, Antonio Gates could end his career in Canton. Number 85 caught 50 touchdowns faster than any tight end in NFL history. And this supercharger holds the single-season record for most touchdowns by a tight end. In 2009, the all-decade performer set a career high with 1,157 receiving yards.
Welcome back to Primetime. I'm Michelle Tafoya in Chicago with this team report. Packers Pro Bowl linebacker Clay Matthews came into Week 3 leading the NFL with 6 sacks. Teammate Charles Woodson says he's not surprised by that early season performance, calling Matthews as strong and as fast as anyone in the game, and smart too. Nice compliment, but Matthews says one of the best compliments he's ever received is, "You're so exciting to watch." And Trey, that didn't come from just anyone. It came from his dad, former pro Clay Matthews Sr., who knows a little football himself.
Primetime rolls on. Sunday night affair, Jets, Dolphins. Braylon Edwards, after the DUI charge, did not play the entire first quarter. So if he didn't have Braylon Edwards, Mark Sanchez got to find somebody else, and that somebody else was Dustin Keller, the tight end, touchdown. Great body position here.
Yeah, I love the fact you can line him up on the perimeter, uses a double move, but these are receiver ball skills there to turn, catch the ball on your back shoulder.
Jeremiah Bell had no chance. Jets up 7-0 early. Second quarter, same score. Sanchez, now this is a pro throw and a great move by Keller to get open on the 12-yard play.
Yeah, great execution here. The trust and anticipation Mark Sanchez shows because he knows his guy's going to get in the middle of the field. Dustin Keller, great job.
6 catches, 98 yards in the first half alone. Later in the second, Dolphins threatening Anthony Fasano from Chad Henne, 3 yards, and it's a one-score game, 14-7. They got a field goal. They're now down 14-10, and Brandon Marshall, who had a huge game, maneuvers through some poor tackling, Merrill, for the score.
We call that a mini jerk route. You get a wide receiver like that on a safety, it usually results in good things.
For the offense.
Yeah, for the offense.
Exactly.
I think that's specific.
Here's the problem, though. First play after that drive, Braylon Edwards, his first catch of the day is a 67-yard touchdown. Now, they resided the infield in Miami, and it looked like the defender slipped on some of that new grass.
Gotta take a better angle, though.
21-17, fourth quarter. Jets up 24-23. This was the best play Braylon made all night to draw the penalty turnout.
Great effort by Braylon Edwards to go up there and reach over the helmet of the defender. That's why they get the PI call. You could see 32 Allen trying to turn his head, but Edwards makes it work.
Yeah, he does. He makes it work. You made that highlight work, too, by the way. LT with the touchdown. Jets up 31-23. It's okay, Trent. Shake it off. Here we go. Dolphins' final drive. They're trying to rally. They need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. And, well, Brandon Marshall's doing his part. Look at the block by Fasano. And Marshall had 10 grabs, $166. But here comes, Merrill. Moment of truth. They got nothing going. 4th and 4.
Fasano, you know what? Down on the red zone, 4th down, you play faster. Get deeper into the end zone. Even though it's zone coverage, attack one of those defenders, threaten him, get his hips turned, then come back to the ball.
Rex Ryan smiling as the Jets win a big one, 31-23. We'll get to a lot in this game, but I tell you, Trent, every quarterback says my best friend is my tight end. It was that true for you in Baltimore, and it looks like Mark Sanchez and Dustin Keller having a little bromance on the field right now.
Yeah, they are. When you're raising a young quarterback, you need to surround him with people that can help him get better, and Dustin Keller is that guy for Mark Sanchez. So versatile. You can line him up outside, play him as a slot receiver. Right here, you see him as a slot receiver in motion, isolated against Sean Smith, the corner, and he's able to beat him on the inside route and chunk yards. Look at this move, sets it up with his eyes, gets Sean thinking he's outside, then breaks inside. Nice ball skills. And then you can line him up on the perimeter, run receiver routes, runs a sluggo here, gets back upfield and locates the ball like a receiver. See his eyes get around early, nice adjustment, sets up the safety here, and look at the anticipation. This is where quarterbacks love it. They know they can let it rip, that the tight end's going to get to the middle of the field. He can anticipate the throw. A lot of how Mark Sanchez develops and this offense goes has to do, Merrill, with how Dustin Keller is progressing.
You know, so many times we talk about the National Football League being an update league. Because after week 1, what did we think about the Jets? Or even going into week 1, what did we think about the Jets? You know, they're going to play great defense, dominated offense. They're going to run the football. You know, be 10-6 ball games. They'll barely win it. Well, now look, we're at week 3, and they're riding this offense out. The one thing I think is very clear about Mark Sanchez from week 1 to week 3, decisive. He's been decisive, and he's gotten better at throwing against man coverage. One of the flaws maybe going into this game that I wanted to see if he got a little better at, which he did, was being decisive in man coverage. Very decisive against zone coverages, but could he get better in man? And Miami played a lot of man, and he beat him at it. And they scored a lot of points, and they rode their offense into victory. So in week 3, now it's about Jet offense, not Jet defense.
Well, the Jets defense has already given up 300-yard receivers through 3 games. They gave up 1 all of last year.
An update league, baby.
They opened up the playbook, though, for Sanchez, and he certainly responded there. Meanwhile, other AFC East opponents, the Bills trying to avoid a 14th straight loss to the Patriots by starting a quarterback, Ryan Fitzpatrick, who wears 14. That would be a bad omen because Tom Brady is still pretty good. No Kevin Falk, no problem. A day and a half to throw. There's one of the rookie tight ends, Aaron Hernandez, 25 yards and a first down, 6 grabs, 65 yards. The Pat would score. Later, Danny Woodhead. Does anybody think that looks exactly like Wes Welker there?
I thought it was Wes Welker.
22-yard touchdown. Woodhead getting things going. Pat's up 14-13.
Love the agility he has. That's the key, baby.
Brandon Tate has had some big games returning the ball. Nice catch. That led to a field goal. Some new contributors on offense. Meanwhile, there is this guy, Randy Moss. And that right there is Randy Moss doing the Randy Moss thing. 150th touchdown of his career right there. Third quarter, Pats driving 17-16, and Moss.
2 days to throw the ball in this one.
Yeah, and between 3 defenders, knocks down the ref. Look at the dedication of the ref. I'm still going to give you this, right? Get out of my, heads up, good. 2 touchdowns, 24-16, so that's the good. The bad news is Ryan Fitzpatrick, who, by the way, is going to be the guy because the Bills have now released Trent Edwards. Issues. Roscoe Parrish spins and runs for a first down. Defensively, the Pats are not there. Second quarter, Bills driving 7-6. Fitzpatrick to C.J. Spiller, and things are out of control here.
Yeah, it's a misunderstanding of who's responsible for what. When you get confused down there, things happen too fast, usually give up 7 points.
Now the play action, what happens here? Fitzpatrick drops back and nobody gets close to him. Steve Johnson, 37-yard touchdown. The Pats win it, their 14th straight over the Bills, but that defense could be problematic. When we continue here on NFL Primetime, he's been given the job. How did he respond? Well, pretty much the same way he did before Michael Vick was given the job. And Minnesota simply said, Sunday, this year, we're going to go wherever the legs of Adrian Peterson will take us. And they took them a long way. Meanwhile, a season saved in Minnesota, and in Houston, a season might have been saved by the Cowboys as well.
The Cardinals' Larry Fitzgerald possesses an enviable combination of size, speed, and leaping ability. He is the prototypical wide receiver that every NFL team is looking for.
To the house, Larry Fitzgerald!
The perennial Pro Bowler can sprint past or out-jump any defender. In Fitzgerald's first 6 seasons, he caught 95 passes or more 4 times and scored 59 touchdowns.
I hustle, because true passion is earned one practice at a time. I respect those who say without discipline there is no glory. I push to be at the top of my class, not just the top of my game. I play to make the last pass, not just the final shot. I challenge those who say it's about me and not about we. I win when we all do. I connect at iHoops, the official youth basketball initiative of the NCAA and the NBA. Connect at ihoops.com.
What if I told you he wasn't the greatest? That a country would fail to protect its greatest natural resource? That sometimes it is a matter of life and death? That no one can outrun the truth? What if I told you he's the only true Cubs fan? That you could heal all wounds with a fight song? That the man no one could stop tragically was? What if I told you running a marathon is easy? 30 stories, 30 filmmakers, 30 years. ESPN's critically acclaimed 30 for 30.
All this month on ESPN America.
Going up?
Sports Center, weekdays at 0700 CET on ESPN America.
Today on ESPN, 30 for 30 continues the story of a cancer patient's walk across Canada that inspired a nation. Into the Air, Tuesday, 8 Eastern on ESPN. As we continue on Primetime, Eagles-Jaguars Michael Vick has been ensconced now in the role of starting quarterback by head coach Andy Reid. And here's why. It's 3rd and 16. It is 3rd and 16! And he makes that throw to Deshaun Jackson. So he turns a 3rd and 16 into a 61-yard touchdown. Trent, that's good.
It's more than good. I mean, his ability to scan downfield, the downfield accuracy, changing ball speed will make him an unstoppable player at quarterback.
And Kevin Comp saying, yeah, I can't argue. Here may be the play that best sums up his progression as a quarterback. The patience and then the throw to Macklin.
Your feet will follow your eyes. Michael Vick is learning this. His eyes go to the right place downfield, therefore his feet will follow and stay patient, and the quick delivery for the strike.
Okay, so both of those are really good throws. If he only had another one. Oh, wait. He does.
Hey, this may be the very best one because it's in that small, tight window and cover two. Safety over the top, corner underneath. Very few quarterbacks would even attempt that throw.
Really? How about this one? How about this one?
And
another one.
Very few would even be able to make that throw.
Those are both 45-yard completions, and then just when you think he's going to sling it, jetpack on, afterburners on. Michael Vick gone. 17 yards for the touchdown. He's still fast.
Ooh, you know what? I'm going to tell you this. This is what we were hoping Vick would eventually be, the complete ultimate weapon.
And again, Cobb saying, I really can't argue. I couldn't do that. Eagles win 28-3. All right. Cowboys, Texans. They met in the preseason, and Houston just dismantled this Cowboys defense. But DeMarcus Ware, tell you what, he came to play on this day. There is no score. Matt Schaub, well, Trent, this is a coverage sack.
It really is. Look at Matt Schaub. He's patting the ball around. Everybody's covered. This allows the relentless DeMarcus Ware to get to him. He can't even get the ball out for a throwaway because DeMarcus Ware is on him. Great team defense.
Good secondary leads to the sack. Second quarter, Cowboys 7-3. Schaub back to pass, and DeMarcus Ware says, get out of my way. Probably not the best idea to use a tight end to block DeMarcus Ware. Ware had 6 tackles and 3 sacks upon the game. Third quarter, 10-3, second and 9 for the Texans. And Schaub looking for Andre Johnson, who, remember, last week hurt that ankle, and Orlando Scandrick gets him there, and he had to go off the field for a while nursing that ankle injury. He had to be taped up on the sidelines, but he would return on the Texans' next possession. And on that possession, Schaub looking back and looking for Andre Johnson, but Mike Jenkins is there with better ankles, right?
Cowboys did a nice job preventing the big play. Michael Jenkins the whole time in bail coverage, looking back, eyes on Matt Schaub, knowing they're getting impatient, want to get some chunk yardage. Great defense by Mike Jenkins.
That was the first takeaway for the Cowboys D all year. They got another one from Terrence Newman. And, of course, Tony Romo's in rhythm with his great new receiver, Roy Williams?
Welcome to Dallas, Roy Williams.
And look at him hold up hook 'em horns right there. That made it 17-3 and nice separation.
Great job of working to the outside first so you can get the defender moved. That makes it so much easier for your route and your quarterback.
Okay, so now Tony's going back to that receiver he trusts and knows so well. Roy Williams! Roy streaking to the end zone. It's a 62-yard score. Trent, what's going on?
I love the release by Roy Williams. Like Merrill said, push to the outside, get inside, get your eyes in the back. Then Tony Romo putting a nice throw in there and letting Roy Williams finish it.
His best game as a Cowboy, 5 grabs, 117 yards, and 2 scores. Cowboys win 27-13. Now listen, we've talked a lot about the Cowboys offense, Merrill. All of America has over the first 2 weeks of the NFL season. Balance.
Some more concerned than
balance. In their first 2 losses, the boys threw it 70% of the time, an NFL high. In the win, it was almost a 50-50 split.
Yeah, I'm not
run pass. Is it that simple or is it something else?
Well, I think there's a little more to it. You know, I'm not a stat guy, and I'm not going to create some stats. Wink, wink over here to my boy about what this Cowboys offense did this week versus the first couple of weeks. But I think it was very evident when you saw a few things. It was Marion Barber first and foremost. The formation did change, and how they used Tony Romo and his move. A lot of 5-7 step drops. They got rid of the football quickly. But right after they pounded away at with Tony Romo and Marion Barber, they used Romo's ability to move with Bennett, the other tight end. They come 2 tight end formation, 2 backs. They move Tony Romo. They sell the run action. They get Bennett on the perimeter. They throw the football to him. They use boot action, misdirection, quick passing game, and Marion Barber to pound, and it stayed consistent like that. At the end of the day, there was great balance with their offense, and that's what allowed the Cowboys to get back on track. When they struggled last year, they did the same thing. They were chucking all over the place, and they went back to power O with all their factor backs, and then they started to build offense from there, and they got into the playoffs. Yep. Now we'll see how they build, statistician, from here on what they do next week or after their bye week.
At this point, I don't care what they do on offense, because at the end of last year, I thought they were the best defense in the National Football League.
I'm not going to argue with you.
Yeah, and they got back to their winning ways on defense. They kept everything in front of them. They harassed the passer. They condensed your formations. They took an explosive Houston Texans offense and just minimized it. This is why the Dallas Cowboys, I don't care what they do on offense from here on out. Throw it 35 times, run it 35 times. If they play this kind of dominant defense, they can beat anybody, anywhere, anytime.
Well, that will be the key. The Cowboys go into that bye, and it may be a good time for him. Tight end Jason Witten spraining the MCL in his knee, but he thinks he'll be back after the bye week. Meanwhile, the Texans, after this, they head to Oakland, and if they think they had a bad day, wait till you see what happened to Oakland a little bit later on in the show. Meanwhile, just like the Cowboys, Brett Favre and the Vikings in desperate need of a win to avoid following to an 0-3 started. Well, that's not what you're looking for. Screen pass and Corey Williams. Got to the 12. 2 picks on the day for Favre. The Lions would score 3 plays later. So he's got 6 picks now through the 3 games. He had 7 all last year with Percy Harvin. Thank you.
That's 2 a game, by the way, if you didn't know the math.
Thank you very much. That would mean 32 on the season. That was the 499th touchdown pass of Favre's career. That's ridiculous. Okay, tied it at 7. And then Adrian Peterson. No, you're not tied.
No, this is ridiculous.
That's incredible. No, you're not tied. Get out.
Nobody breaks more tackles than Adrian Peterson
So wait a
in our
minute.
league right now.
Does he explode through the hole now?
So this is what we call pressing the hole, setting them up, and then make them pay at the end.
So at the end, you mean like on this 6-yard run?
Yeah. See, like how he presses the perimeter? Yeah. Now he creates the hole, and he's right in the alley, baby.
So then when they're in that situation, they're very concerned so we can do this?
Yeah. See, this is called press the hole, get through the screen door that's slightly cracked, give him a factor back slap, and then see him in the end zone.
That's why I drafted him #1 in the fantasy league over Chris Johnson.
Well, the Lions, certainly helped here, guys.
Yeah, well, see, this is what's called pressing the hole. When you attack downhill, look how you pull defenders over. When you pull them over, then they get out of the hole, and you get in the hole, and he's too strong in his lower body and upper body.
23 carries, 160 yards, 80 on that one play. Vikes get the win, 24-10. When we continue on primetime, you know what the rallying cry is in Pittsburgh right now? Bring your mom in to play quarterback for us, and we'll still find a way to win. Also just ahead, Kyle Orton had the numbers, but Peyton Manning had his go-to receiver, Austin Collie. Plus, it's not the halcyon days of Trent Green and Priest Holmes in Kansas City. It just feels that way as suddenly the OWs are showing up in Mid-America. Offensive weapons.
The Falcons' Roddy White has developed into a star at wide receiver. He always had the blazing speed, and now boasts the reliable hands and sharp route running to be a Pro Bowler for years to come.
That ball's caught. White's got it.
White's rapport with Matt Ryan is as good as any quarterback-receiver duo in the NFL. In 2009, just their second season together, the wideout hauled in 11 touchdown passes.
Johnson has done it. He has gone over 2,000 yards, becoming the 6th player in NFL history to do it.
You know, a couple years ago, I faced the task of increasing our overall team speed, specifically on offense. So we did some homework, we shopped around, looked under a couple stones and behind a few buildings, and we found the right guy.
This is every coach's dream, Chris Johnson of the Tennessee Titans.
Get on it.
The fastest man in the National Football League, the fastest man player to reach 2,000 yards plus, and you got some good stuff ahead of you, don't you?
Yeah, some good stuff.
What's ahead?
Yeah, I'm just getting started. I've only been in the league 2 years, so I feel like I got a lot of years
How many
left.
you got left in these?
Got a lot.
Somebody said if you lose this 2 steps, you still be faster than everybody.
Still be faster.
How many times you want the ball a game?
25 would be good.
25 times a game, which is going to get us what yards-wise?
Hopefully another 2,000-yard season, help this team reach the playoffs, and hopefully get to the Super Bowl and win it.
Welcome back to Primetime. I'm Susie Colber in Chicago with this team report. While both teams recognize the history and tradition of this rivalry, it seems to be just a little bigger for the Bears. Remember, at Lovie Smith's introductory press conference when he was hired in 2004, one of the first things he said was he wants to beat the Packers. And Ryan Urlacher told me that this game is the biggest they've had since they played in the Super Bowl after the '06 season. It's because they haven't been very good in a while, and then your rival comes to town, you're both 2-0, each trying to take control of the NFC North. Back to Primetime.
Primetime rolls on. The Colts in Denver to play the Denver Broncos, and obviously the Broncos a little shaken up, the moment of silence before the game for wide receiver Kenny McKinley. Broncos moved the ball up and down the field on the Colts defense, but could not get in. On 4th and 1 here, Lawrence Maroney, and it signaled a touchdown, but the Colts challenged the ruling, and it was actually a great challenge. You'll see his knee drop right there before the ball crosses the plane. So the Broncos come away empty with a 4th and goal from the 1. Meanwhile, just under 9 minutes to play, Kyle Orton going for it on 4th down from the 12. Why not kick a field goal there? Falls incomplete. The Broncos once again come away with nothing later in the 4th. Marius Thomas can't come up with a catch in the end zone. The Broncos come away empty-handed. They tallied just 2 field goals on 5 red zone possessions. Meanwhile, Peyton Manning didn't have Pierre Garçon. So, of course, on 3rd and 15, you're going to Austin Collie. What? Austin Collie in a perfect throw between the 2 defenders. Manning was just average Manning, 27-43, 325 yards and 3 touchdowns. But Austin Collie was far from average. 23-yard touchdown, that is ridiculous. A career-high 12 catches for 171 yards and 2 scores. Colts win 27-13. So they have a really good quarterback in Indianapolis named Peyton Manning.
Number 18.
They've gone through 7 quarterbacks in Pittsburgh. They're in Tampa taking on the Bucs. Charlie Batch, over 4 years since his last start. And when all else fails, throw a bomb to the fast guy. That would be Mike Wallace.
And I think Charlie Batch understands this too. Defenders back, keep to leave to Mike Wallace, throw it up, give your guy a chance. When you're a ball control offense, you got to take some vertical shots.
That was actually Cody Grimm there. The Steelers go up 7-3. Second quarter, Batch this time going for Aqib Talib, and Mike Wallace gets the hand on it in the return from Aqib Talib. Sort of a little tip there. One more time, they get it going. This time he had turned around, though, Trent.
Yeah, he got turned around. It's the right guy this time. Mike Wallace does a good job focusing on the ball. Tampa Bay Buccaneers have to finish plays off if they're going to be a good defense.
By the way, at this point, I'm convinced that if Abe Vigoda from the Snickers commercial played quarterback for the Steelers, they would win. There's Hines Ward. Batch, 12 of 17, a $186, 3 touchdowns and 2 picks. But, you know, Merrill, last week on Primetime, you praised Aaron Smith. Why not give it up for Brett Kiesel, the other defensive end?
Not only should we, but we're going to right here. This guy does more, probably he's forgotten in this defense. He does more for him in their blitz packages.
But look
kudos
at the
to him
look at the downfield
get the ball.
blockers.
I know I'm getting to that next. When I see this kind of skill, he may be doing something on the other side of the ball this week as they game plan to get Kiesel more touches.
We just got to get Merrill out of 3rd gear there as the Steelers win big. They're 3-0 with 37 different quarterbacks. Niners and Chiefs. Matt Castle and company looking for their first 3-0 start since 2003. Oh, they've got the OW.
Well, that's a great throw, too. He put on that back hip.
Dexter McCluster, you get in there! Just like that, and the Chiefs up 7-0. The offensive weapon working. 3rd quarter. Well, now, wait a minute. That's Matt Castle, the quarterback. There's Thomas Jones. Something tricky's going to happen here, right, Trent?
Absolutely. I love this little wildcat variation. You saw that from the Miami Dolphins this year. Kansas City Chiefs utilize it this year. It gets an opportunity to get Dwayne Bowe open down the football field.
By the way, that was not an easy grab, Bowe, to stay in bounds there in the end zone as they're up big 17-3. But there's the catch of the year, Tony Moeeeee. Full extension.
Absolutely sick. I mean, that is such a tough catch. One-hand stab. Love that he maintained possession going through the ground.
That's a big part of the rules this year. Kansas City up 24-3, and then Merrill, the ground game with Jamal Charles got it going, and then Thomas Jones says, if you're going to do that, I'm going to do this.
Yeah, Thomas Jones is pounding away and pounding away. The combination gives them so much versatility in their running game, and Charlie Weiss, offensive coordinator, knows how to utilize it.
Charles 97 yards, Jones 95, and then they dial up the defense. Tamba Ali sacks Alex Smith for a 5-yard loss. In fact, he sacked Jimmy Ray right out of a job in San Francisco as the offensive coordinator is now gone. Another sack, and the Chiefs win big, 31-10. And, you know, you look at this team, Merrill, and suddenly, especially on the offensive side of the ball, you see playmakers everywhere.
Yeah, you know what? And this is what comes down to coaching. When you talk about Charlie Weiss, who's the offensive coordinator in Kansas City, one thing he does know how to do, he knows how to coordinate offense in the NFL, and it's about creating matchups, getting your players in a position of strength. And we witnessed that against the 49ers. He was taking Dexter McCluster in the backfield, moving all over the place. I mean, you're going from the wildcat, quarterbacks wide. I mean, a multitude of looks. And when you do that, it is so difficult to game plan. And especially when you're asking your guys to play to a strength, something that they like doing. You get McCluster on the perimeter. You don't ask him to run down the field and run a go route. You get the ball to him quick, you get him on the perimeter in some open field, and you get big plays.
This organization right now is so well managed, and Charlie Weiss, Roman Cannell doing great jobs on both sides of the ball. But Todd Haley deserves an immense amount of credit here. One, he hired two big personalities as coordinators. A lot of head coaches don't have the guts to do that. And the way he's got the structure right now for the Kansas City Chiefs is remarkable. These guys want to play hard for him. He's doing a great job managing in-game adjustments as well.
I will say this, the key to being a great head coach in a National Football League is coordinators you hire.
Who you hire, baby.
Brilliant.
They've done a good job there. Chiefs 3-0. They've already basically averaged their season total for the last 3 years. They've had 10 wins the last 3 seasons. Chargers, Seahawks. Norv Turner trying to get something going. They've won 5 straight against the NFC. Okay, you shouldn't kick it to Leon Washington. I'm
Why?
gonna say it.
Why?
Because this happens. They're up 10-0 and goodbye. Have fun storming the castle. 101 yards later, it's a touchdown for Leon Washington. Jets fans saw him do that in New York. Pete Carroll loves it. Woo, win forever, baby. It's 17-0. Fourth quarter, Chargers down 20-12, 3rd and goal. Phillip Rivers did everything he possibly could in this game. Running around, trying to get something going and escaping the pressure, and then he hits Antonio Gates in the end zone for a touchdown. But wait a minute, show me laundry. Holding on Brandon Dombrowski right there. Norv Turner says, are you kidding me? So the Chargers try again, 3rd and goal. Well, this time more conventionally, it's to Antonio Gates. So that cuts it to 20-18. We got to go for 2. After a penalty on their first 2-point conversion, they're pushed back 5 yards, and it doesn't matter because Legadou Nane, the Seahawks can't spell his name, and they can't cover him either. How was he that wide open?
You know, extend the play, climbing up in the pocket. The defenders now squeeze the quarterback. Eyes on the quarterback. Phillip Rivers understands this, looks to the perimeter, finds an open Nane.
Nane, so it's tied at 20. So what should the Chargers not do?
Kick it out of bounds.
They should have a kickoff period after their kickoff coverage this year.
Leon Washington, not once but twice. This one, well, it's only 99 yards. But by the way, with 2 in this game, he becomes the Seahawks franchise leader in team history with kickoff returns for touchdowns. With 2. And he got them on one day. And it's 27-20. I can't explain it either, Leon. Chargers, though, driving Phillip Rivers. Look at this. Double zeros on the play clock. So Rivers looking for Patrick Creighton. They got from the Cowboys right before the season starts. It's a touchdown, but it is a delay of game indeed. So now it's 4th and 15. Rivers is going to try and rally one more time. By the way, he set a franchise record for passing yards, 455 in this game, but it's no go. After forcing a 3-and-out, Chargers with one more. They got down there again. Earl Thomas, sit down, rookie. Don't fumble. Sit down. The Seahawks beat the Chargers 27-20. Okay, so that was bad. Then there's the Raiders-Cardinals game. Tom Cable is probably not going to want to see this film. Looking for consecutive winning games for the first 2008. Now, in pregame, that's Sebastian Janikowski from 63 yards out, right down the middle.
No problem.
Well, that's why everybody's really good on the practice tee in golf.
Yep, you should see me on the driving range.
Yeah, I'm terrific. I'm scratch on the practice range, and then Janikowski wide right. That's miss number 1 for Seabass, who's been there for a while and has been a very good kicker for a long time. That's a 58-yarder. Okay, no issue.
Yeah,
there.
absolutely.
58.
Yeah, no.
Miss number 2.
Forgivable.
But then final drive. It's a 24-23 game. Over a minute to go. Gradkowski for Darius Hayward-Bay. Incomplete, but there you see.
That was a
flag.
terrible call.
Pass interference. You don't like it?
I hated it.
Are you kidding me? Look, he's playing the
Arm
ball.
bar. That's the arm bar right there.
Arm bar. Oh, yeah, arm bar.
There are rules. What can I tell you?
He wasn't holding it down.
32 yards. Oh, no, Sebastian. Well, at least he
that
thought,
proves
no,
it. That call.
Can't hold on to win. 3rd miss of the day. Cardinals win 24-23. When we continue on primetime, it wasn't just a big day for Anquan Bolden. It was a historic day. We'll tell you that when we return. Plus, 3 games in, I gotta be honest, it's not going well for Donovan McNabb and the Redskins, and wait till you see who they have coming up on their schedule.
Peyton Manning once called Brandon Stokely the best slot receiver in NFL history. Manning would know, as Stokely was once a 1,000-yard receiver with the Colts. Though he now catches passes with Denver, Stokely still moves the chains and is a relentless competitor. The two-time Super Bowl champion averaged a career-high 17.2 yards per catch in his 11th season, with the longest grab coming on an 87-yard game-winning touchdown against the Bengals on the last play of the game.
So, Matt, at the Combine, is it true you scored a 32 on the Wonderlic test?
Yep.
God, that is something. Your brain's got to be huge.
I don't think so.
No, seriously? I bet your brain's bigger than ours.
Is that even possible?
You didn't even study for that thing, did you?
I guess not.
Genius.
You know what? Super genius.
Yep.
I gotta run. I'll catch you guys later.
All right, see ya.
SportsCenter, weekdays at 0700 CET on ESPN America.
Primetime rolls on. Redskins and Rams. Sam Bradford and company trying to end a 13-game home losing streak. This would help. It certainly helped my fantasy team. Steven Jackson goes right, cuts back left. Oh, man, I'm rolling in points. 42-yard touchdown. Gravy.
Just keep him healthy. You'll be all right.
There's a groin issue now, and they're looking at that, and they may have to bring in...
Oh, shucks.
Steven, I appreciate what you gave me. Then there's the Redskins offense. The Redskins are down 7-0 because of that Steven Jackson touchdown. Well, let's get Santana Moss. He's our playmaker. Whoop! And somebody hit the eject button there.
I love how they're tackling with the Rams. They'll come with the arm, try to strip the ball out. Ball comes out. Opportunistic defense.
James Butler with the opportunistic return to the 3. They would score. So final seconds of the first. And Donovan to...
Where's our camera?
Donovan to the line of scrimmage. Third quarter, Redskins down 21-16. McNabb hit as he throws to Roy Dell. That's incomplete. Fourth quarter, Redskins down 27-16. And here comes pressure, and Bradley Fletcher with the interception. The Rams win their first win in the month of September since 2006.
They were dominant.
They were very...
In the trenches, boys.
Titans, Giants at the brand new playpen, the Meadowlands. Eli and company trying to rebound after Big Brother bloodied their noses last week. They did not help themselves. Look, this is a good pass. Eli to Akeem Nicks, hit him in a bad place. The hands, I guess. The ball pops out. Deflected by Cortland Finnegan, sets up the interception by Senderick Marks. Okay, this was the one that you never want to pull, right? Down 3-0, running around, shot put it left, Trent.
Trying to do too much. I think Eli's pressing. His guys aren't helping him out. Just trying to do too much. He is smarter than this.
But it's shot putting with the left hand. It's okay with the right hand, but the left hand.
I'm not sure it's okay with either hand.
I'll go with the right. At least that's your hand.
They turn over inside the 5. Now listen, this play turned the game around. It's 10-10. They're backed up, and he throws one out to Mario Manningham for a 43-yard gain. But wait a minute, there's a flag, and it happens in the end zone. Watch Ahmad Bradshaw, the running back. They call him on a chop block because Tony Brown's engaged right there.
Oh, that's terrible.
But there should be a penalty. It should be a face mask anyway.
Yeah, face mask.
Wrong
Yeah,
penalty. Wrong penalty.
That's not what they call.
So either way, it's a safety. They got a safety, a short field, and a touchdown to make it 19-10. And then Ahmad Bradshaw, Fumbleruski, recovered by the Titans. Michael Griffin just says, "Give me that!" Second turnover inside the 6-yard line. Oh, and just for fun, a personal foul on the play. Look at David Beal. Cortland Finnegan, I've always wanted a Titans helmet as a souvenir. Can I take yours? Giants lose 29-10. 3 turnovers, 2 missed field goals, 11 penalties, and 5 personal fouls on the safety. Blech. Browns, Ravens. Joe Flacco trying to rebound from a 4-pick performance in week 2. You know what? When all else fails, go to Anquan Bolden. Underrated catch here, Trent.
Big time catch. Yeah, people think that looks easy. It looks easy because that's a great player doing it.
Preach, Dilfer! Flacco facing the blitz, and Anquan Boldin says, well, okay, this is a problem.
And this was a really nice adjustment by the Ravens. They brought 2 tight ends in. They brought a lot of Browns up to the line of scrimmage, isolated Anquan Boldin. The reason we put that 1 there is because 1 receiver on 1 DB means 1 on 0, Merrill.
Yeah, so let's not do that again, right? Oh, wait, they do it again. And by the way, 3 touchdowns for Boldin. As we break this play down, Trent, he also got to 600 catches faster than anyone in NFL history.
Remarkable. Joe Flacco, watch him just flick this ball once again. A lot of Browns at the line of scrimmage.
Great
Isolated
pickup.
coverage downfield. Little flick of the wrist. 1 on 1 equals 1 on 0 when it's Anquan Boldin. You like that, huh?
Flacco, big game. Boldin, big game.
Like to hear it.
Also helping my fantasy team. Ravens win 24-17, which is really the most important.
How can you lose?
Well, believe me, it's me. All right, Bengals and the Panthers. Now, we should point out that Jimmy Clausen made his first start, and the Bengals actually won this game, but Carson Palmer's struggling, guys.
Carson Palmer's struggling. The wide receivers are struggling. The offensive line is struggling. It is not just one guy.
It's a team effort.
Well, they're doing a good job at it. They're
struggling.
Decision-making, timing in your routes. Are you finishing routes? You're coming out of your breaks?
You guys are making it sound like there's a 3 in front of that Carolina 0.
Yeah, they did win the game.
I know.
They did win the game.
How they won it?
We're not sure. Palmer, 19 of 37, 195 yards, 2 interceptions. The Bengals do go to it. Cedric Benson, by the way, was also big for me in fantasy. I can't help it. He was huge. When we continue, prime time performers. And believe me, we had many choices this week.
Right in the front.
That's like winning the lottery, dude.
Really?
I got that spot once.
Morning, you saying?
Hey, guys.
Hey. And the guy was about to go in, right? So I sort of duck under him,
Right.
you know. Man, he pops out of the car. His chili is running so hot, right? I'm like, dude, it's a parking spot. Relax, right? It's no big deal. Slow day, huh?
Listen.
Man, I would kill for that schedule.
Me too, man. Oh, I'm telling you, me too.
Sports Center, weekdays at 0700 CET on ESPN America.
I've made a lot of mistakes in my life. I've closed that book, and I'm not looking back at it.
This game has been about our team.
Pulling that ball in is Hines Ward. Steelers show blitz. He's going to be hit, and the ball is loose.
The flyover could be the most exciting 5 seconds in football.
Okay. Little flyover.
Looking good. 5 seconds now.
Oh, here they go. I love that. I love that. That's a flyover right there now.
Ja, gelukt! Ik voel me goed. Beter nog, ik voel me toppie. Fantastieke! Je lengte is nu perfect. Je zit nu in de race voor de volgende topmodel.